It's the pre-rut, and this time of year, scrapes are heating up and travel corridors and pinch points are key to seeing and tagging bucks. Team member Cody Kraut has been using the strategy for many years and tagged some dandy bucks during the pre-rut. In fact, he recently had another successful hunt.
Bap, bap. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Unbelievable.
Cody lives and hunts in western Illinois, where the habitat features make pinch points very defined. One of the properties Cody has permission to hunt only has about 4 or 5 acres of timber, and this creates an incredible pinch point with the ag field and the creek that runs just northwest of the property. That ag field and creek creates a bottleneck and pinch point right there in the timber that Cody can hunt. This is a pinch point in a travel corridor. This pinches deer down into about 100 yards or less. But if you zoom out and look at the larger picture, you can see this strip of timber that runs along the creek is a natural travel corridor. So we're in the travel corridor, but Cody has identified a pinch point within that travel corridor. And deer traveling within the corridor have to move within about this 100-yard area. We often share access is key to successful hunts. A hunter should be able to approach, hunt, and exit without alerting deer in the target area. And this property sets up perfectly for a north wind. With a north wind, Cody can access that pinch point from the south out in the ag field, letting his wind blow out there. There's no deer out there, they're all in the timber. And he can slide in just inside the timber without alerting deer in that travel corridor. So this property has great access, little disturbance. It's easy to slide in, but Cody needs that north wind. Just a few weeks ago, during mid-October, Cody had a north wind, and it was perfect for approaching his stand in that small block of timber.
We've got a nice steady wind. It's northwest, and that is perfect for us, so everything is lining up ideally. I just need a deer.
During that hunt, Cody had a great encounter.
Well, we got about an hour and 15 minutes left. Just had that doe sneak up on me. I didn't see her until she was within 15 yards of me. Normally I would have taken that doe, but my main goal for this hunt was to get a moultrie out here so I can see what's using this 3-acre passing through.
Cody was in that travel corridor looking for a buck. So he gave that doe a pass, but while he was there, he took time to make a mock scrape and set up a moultrie mobile. Right there in that travel corridor with a scrape, man, he could monitor what bucks were using the area. Cody didn't have to wait long. Several nice bucks started showing up on his camera, and they were hitting that mock scrape. During the pre-rut, there's a small percentage of does that are receptive, and that means bucks have to travel more during daylight hours to find those few receptive does in the area. During this time, a scrape is an important communication tool for a buck. He can gather or leave information at a scrape. So a scrape for a hunter becomes a pinch point. Bucks are going to be checking scrapes more during the pre-rut. They have to come to one area to leave or deposit scent. And if that's within bow range of a hunter, that's the pinch point. You position that pinch point within a travel corridor, oh my, that can be some great hunting. If you're interested in learning more information about scrapes and the techniques used to hunt them effectively, make sure you check out our recent scrapes video. The link is in the description. Seeing those big bucks using the scrape during daylight hours sure made Cody excited, because during the afternoon of October 25th, another north wind was forecast.
Well, it is October 25th today, and this is my third time out hunting. A few things that are unusual. First off, this being my third time hunting on October 25th. Normally I've slipped in quite a few more hunts, but I've been pretty busy, so just hunting when I can. The other thing that's unusual, all three hunts have been out of this tree. But I'm not concerned about that because this particular spot, it has really good access, and as long as you have a north wind, preferably with some west in it, it's going to be perfect. We're in a little patch of timber. It's a little over 3 acres, I believe. But what makes this spot so good is the fact that to the northwest, or the northeast, and then to the southwest, there's big patches of timber. And it kind of funnels down into this 3 acres. So if these deer are traveling from big timber to big timber, they're going to come more than likely through this little patch. So it's not real wide. And so when they do come through, you should be able to see them. Now we finally got a rain, first rain in what seems like early summer. And that really helped getting in here because really deadened everything down. I was able to slip in here real quiet. But it's overcast. It feels like a good day to shoot a good deer. But we've got the northwest wind that I was talking about that is so perfect for this. And it's supposed to be about 9 to 12 miles an hour pretty consistently all evening long. So since it did rain, I went ahead and snuck down to our mock scrape. I've got a mulching molding just right in front of us, about 10 yards. And then a few yards past that, I set up a mock scrape early in October. The deer have been hitting it, so I'm looking forward to this hunt. Every time I'm on this property, it just feels like you're going to see deer.
Cody hadn't been in the stand long when he spotted a yearling buck headed toward the scrape. As the yearling continued on his way, Cody looked over and saw a nice set of antlers coming through the timber. This buck had a great set of antlers, and this is another reason scrapes are a great tool for hunters. Not only is it a pinch point, but when those bucks come in and hit the brakes, a hunter can get a real good look at that buck, and he can decide whether that's a buck he wishes to harvest or pass. This was a great looking 2-year-old buck, and seeing those antlers come through the woods sure got Cody excited. But when that buck slowed down, he got a good look at his body and all those characteristics, he knew he was an up-and-comer buck. He decided to give him a pass. Cody was looking for an older buck.
Well, we haven't had a reason to pick up the old prime yet, but the bucks are moving. It's so cool watching them come in and work a scrape.
Cody's strategy was working, and he was seeing some great pre-rut action. As light started to fade, Cody heard deer running his way. He got the camera ready and watched a fawn stop right in front of him. Cody could still hear some leaves crunching, and he turned the camera hoping a big buck was following that fawn. Unfortunately, it wasn't a buck. It was not one, but two coyotes on the trail of the fawn, obviously trying to find a meal. Cody's not one to give a coyote a pass, so he drew his bow and let a mega meat fly. Some of you may be like Cody and you never pass on a coyote. Others may be saying, oh my gosh, this is a great hunting location. Cody, why are you shooting a coyote in this travel corridor? Hey, Cody's got a coyote down. He's in a great travel corridor. You tell us what you think or what you would have done. Drop a note in the comments and let us know if you would have shot that coyote or let him pass.
Well, this coyote wasn't exactly what I was after this evening, but anytime you got an opportunity to take out a predator, you take out the predator, so that's exactly what we did. It was following that fawn along with another coyote that ended up seeing me, ran off, and then he actually snuck back through. And by the time I got my bow back around the second time, he was gone, but we were able to get one of them, and that fawn got out of here, so that's always good. But I really like this spot. That scrape's hot right now, so you better believe that tomorrow morning I'm going to be right back up in that tree with a north wind and a cold front. So I think tomorrow's going to be a day where a lot of big bucks hit the ground, and I'm just hoping that I can be one of those people with my tag on one of them. So we're going to get this guy drug out of here and get on home for the evening.
The next morning was kind of cool. High 30s with a 7-mile-an-hour north-northwest wind. Perfect conditions for Cody to hunt that same stand. He was in there before daylight and got to watch a beautiful sunrise.
Good morning and welcome to Macoupin County, Illinois, where I am currently. And this is my first morning hunt of the year, and I'm very excited about it. Conditions seem right. You know, we've got the time of the year. We're in that pre-rut phase. It's October 26th. We had a cold front push through last night. We've got a north-northeast wind, and looking at the Moultrie mobile app, it's 39 degrees right now. And yesterday, it was in the high 60s, so I'm hoping that'll get these deer moving. But like I said, it's that pre-rut phase, so they should be on their feet anyway. But that being said, it is a little chilly here, so I got to break out my all-time favorite base layers, which is that H1 quarter zip and pants from Fleet. That mixed with my light jacket and light pants is going to be perfect for today. But this spot we hunted yesterday evening, and we had a good hunt. We saw some deer and we took out a predator. That's a win in my book. Both of the bucks that we saw made us stop by our mock scrape that we put in after our first hunt of the year. And we have a Moultrie mobile over top of that scrape, and it's been picking up a lot of action. And there's actually been 3 mature bucks since I put that camera up just 10 days ago now. So would love to see one of them stroll on through here, but we've got great conditions. we've got a great time of the year. We've got a great wind. I mean, all we need is a great deer to show up. So, looking forward to it. We're gonna settle in, maybe drink some coffee, and wait on Mr. Big to come on by.
As Cody was enjoying watching the woods wake up, he heard leaves crunching. It was still fairly early, and Cody opted to pass this doe. He was hoping a buck would be on her trail. He didn't have to wait long.
Rap, rap. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. Yes. I just heard it crash. Oh my gosh. What a great time to be in the stand. Gosh. First morning of the year. I mean, anytime you get to be in a tree, it's a blessing, but oh my goodness. Whew. All right. I need to go ahead and call Hayden.
Cody's shot looked perfect. That mega meat zipped through that big bodied deer. The trail wasn't going to be very long, but Cody figured he was going to need help dragging that big bodied buck out of the holler. So he called his brother-in-law Hayden to come help.
Well, Hayden's about 25 minutes away, so I'm gonna go ahead and pack up, take some stuff back to the truck, drive around, because I can actually pull into this field, so maybe go get out these base layers now that it's starting to warm up a little bit. We got a big old buck to drag out, so I'm gonna go ahead and break down my setup and head back to the truck.
Growing Deer is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Also by Green Cover Food Plots, Winchester, PH Outdoors, Moultrie Mobile, Steel, Fleet Outdoor Apparel, Morel Targets, Fourth Arrow, Soil Pro Outdoors, Scorpion Venom Archery, Case IH Tractors, Burris Optics, G5 Broadheads, Prime Bows, and Redneck Hunting Blinds.
All right, the crew is all here. My brother-in-law Hayden was nice enough to make a hour-and-a-half trip down here to help us recover this deer, and he brought my beautiful nieces, Sage and Hazel. So they're gonna help me find this buck. So you girls excited? Mm-hmm. All right, let's go get him. My little secret hideout. Let's go right up here. You see the blood? See the red? All right, well, we just got down here. We grabbed the arrow. That buck was standing right here, and we have blood just immediately after. So the mega meat, I'm sure, put quite a hole in him, and it looks like we're gonna have a very nice blood trail to follow. So, girls, let's try to find some blood. See me over here?
Yeah, I see one on the wall. Whoa, holy smokes, there's a lot of blood in here.
Yeah, there is. All right, well, here he is. My nieces did a fantastic job following the blood trail. One of the easier blood trails, you know, using those mega meats. As you can see, this is the entrance hole, and it is just huge. I continue to be impressed by those broadheads, but very, very messy blood trail, and those are my favorite ones. But this buck, we caught him doing kind of exactly what we expected. This particular piece of property, it's only about 3.5 acres of timber, which doesn't sound like much, but whenever you look at it on a map and you notice that there's big timber to the south and big timber to the north, and that 3 acres kind of acts as just a natural funnel, so they kind of pinch down. If they want to stay in the woods going from big timber to big timber, they're going to come through there. So we've got our stand set up to where we can kind of cut them off. And one thing that I did just 10 days ago today was add a mock scrape and put a Moultrie Mobile over it, and it was just right in front of the camera. So what that allowed us to do is to not only are these deer going to be pinched down coming through this 3 acres, but whenever you have a mock scrape, they're more likely to come over and take a look at it. So we've been having a lot of bucks come over there and check it out. So we've had 3 mature bucks, I believe, in the last 10 days that have come and looked at this scrape. And I actually thought this was the first buck that did, a buck that I called Pork Chop. But after I was reviewing the footage, look, it turned out that this guy had a little too many points to be Pork Chop. So this was a new buck I had not seen. I sent it to a kid that hunts this property as well, and he sent me some pictures, and he had named it Splits. So I've got a buck on the wall named Splits already, so I guess this one Splits the second. So I could not be more excited. This buck, he didn't come into the scrape, but we just caught him cruising. I assume he was just checking for does, headed to big timber, and he came right through our little pinch, and we were able to get a shot at him at 30 yards, and super excited. Glad that Hayden, my brother-in-law, and then my beautiful nieces were able to come here and help me find it. So we're gonna get a tag on this guy, try to get him drug out of here, and get him to a taxidermist.
Congratulations, Cody, on a well-executed pre-rut hunt. Cody's hunt is a great example for us all of how important it is to be in a travel corridor, and not just a travel corridor during the pre-rut, but to have a pinch point within that travel corridor. Something that really bottlenecks deer down. We can sit in a travel corridor, but if there's no pinch point or bottleneck, it can be tough to have deer within our effective range. So finding that pinch point within a travel corridor, that's key to success during the pre-rut.
Unbelievable.
Even if you're hunting in big timber country, habitat features like a bend in the creek, or even the food plot, just like the ag field, it went into the timber, made a really hard corner. A food plot does the exact same thing in big timber country. So bucks may not be coming to the food source, but they've got to wrap around the end of that food plot. That's creating some type of bottleneck. And no matter the habitat you're hunting, whether it's ag country or pines or hardwood timber, if you can find those pinch points that bottleneck deer down into 50, 60 yards, and you can enter, hunt, and exit without alerting deer, you're gonna see a lot of critters. Another great lesson from Cody's hunt was, remember, he was only hunting 4 or 5 acres of timber. That was all he had permission to hunt. He wasn't hunting thousands of acres. It's not the size of the property, but those pinch points on the property where you can hunt. One last thing I'll add about the pre-rut. Remember, Cody had some nice bucks showing up on his Moultrie Mobile, but he had no idea that this buck was in the area. And that's what's great about the pre-rut. Now, bucks aren't running all around the county. They're still active within their home range. But during the pre-rut, they tend to use more of their home range seeking those receptive does. So finding those travel corridors, you can see a lot of bucks, and even some bucks you may not have known were in the area. Those are bonus bucks, we call them. You didn't know they were there, they just happened to show up. And that's what makes hunting the pre-rut so great. You can see a lot of animals, but you can also see some great deer that you may not have even known were in the area. They're traveling more during daylight, and it's a great time to be in the woods with a buck tag in your pocket. Hunters know that things can change quickly in the deer woods. We get closer to the peak of rut, deer movement changes, we have to adjust our hunting strategies. It's kind of a scramble. But in life, there's a constant. That's our Creator. And I hope you slow down this week and stop taken all these other trails through life and you really focus on the Creator and the purpose He has for your life, He won't steer you wrong, and it's a great trail to follow. I hope you slow down this week, enjoy creation, and listen to the Creator. Thanks for watching Growing Deer.